Well, the Tshwane Council was expected to elect a new mayor today, but they have adjourned. I want to bring in Sipho Stuurman. He's been witnessing the scenes there. Sipho, a very good morning to you. So the council meeting has been postponed. Why?
Well, a very good morning to you and our viewers at home. The meeting has yet again been postponed. As you correctly state, that it was supposed to be a meeting for an election of a new mayor. You will remember that Stephen's Mokhalapa's last day, that is the former mayor, was yesterday. And he since, of course, resigned after that Sex in the City scandal. So today's meeting was supposed to be an election of a new mayor, because as it stands right now, City of Tshwane does not have a government, it does not have a mayor, so services cannot go through. So this was a crucial meeting. However, the ANC and EFF demanded that the Speaker, Katlego Matebe, must recuse herself, or at least resign, before they can go ahead with the election of a new mayor. But then she refused to recuse herself or resign, saying that she has not done anything wrong. Now, because the ANC and EFF combined hold the majority in this council, it means that when they walk out, then there is no quorum, and if there is no quorum, then they cannot proceed with the meeting to possibly elect a new mayor. So that is where we are right now. ANC and EFF are staging a walkout because they don't want this DA Speaker, Katlego Matebe, to continue. So because they have the numbers combined, then they are able to collapse at the meetings, meaning that then Tshwane's future hangs in the balance, because there is no mayor that is elected, there is no government right now. Of course, Stephen's Mokhalapa, his last day was yesterday. He resigned over that Sex in the City scandal, and I had a chance to speak with him yesterday, in which he said that, of course, he said that he regrets the issue of the Hammanskraal water crisis, and feeling that if, as the DA-led administration, they had attended to the Hammanskraal water issue, then he would feel like they have done a better job as the DA-led administration. But certainly, it's challenging times for the DA here in Tshwane, because they do not have the numbers in council to keep these meetings going in terms of electing a new mayor. And I see now my colleague is trying to point me out to the ANC, perhaps to come and speak to us and talk to us about this strategy of continuing, of course, to stage a walkout. Let's just wait for the ANC, regional chairperson, Dr. Jose Mayepa, who's just jumping behind me. The space is a little bit awkward here. Thank you very much for coming through. You guys have been very tight-lipped throughout this week, but it seems the strategy is that now you have staged a walkout. Why is this?
Good morning to you and to the viewers of SABC. The African National Congress received court papers this morning. Court papers that detailed that the Democratic Alliance and Katlego Matebe are taking Senior Counsel Makula and MEC of local government to court to review a decision of the MEC to appoint senior counsel to investigate the conduct of the speaker since last year, October. You would know that the MEC had intentions to do so. The MEC has indeed followed the code of conduct of councillors as stipulated in the code of conduct, that he must appoint a committee that is going to investigate. He has done so. And the committee, I think, concluded its work on the 21st of February. And in anticipation of what the outcome might be, the DA and the Speaker took the MEC to court, because we think that, and we have received information that the Speaker was found to be a constitutional delinquent, and as a result, she can't preside over meetings any longer of council.
Well, there's no court that has declared that yet, but the matter is pending in court.
Yes, I mean, the matter is sub judice now, because she has taken the matter to court, so she can't be there. Council must still proceed with its life, but we can't have a person now that is being investigated and so on. She must step aside and allow the process to conclude, and therefore we allow council to continue with other councillors who are not tainted in terms of being investigated.
So she stated that there's no court that has found her guilty and she's not stepping aside. So where to right now? Because as we know, the city of Tshwane does not have a mayor, there's no government at this point.
It's shocking that and terrible that a person from the DA will say that if they are in court, they can't step aside. For many years, they have called on ANC people that when they have been found to have done something, or that there are matters before the court, they will ask that we must step aside. You know for a fact, ministers, presidents, that they have asked from the DA. We are saying the same, that she must move and then allow the process of council to go without her, because council can proceed without her.
All right, council can proceed without her. We know the DA has a mayoral candidate in Mr. Randall Williams. The ANC and the FF have not announced anybody yet to possibly take over Mokhalapa. Have you come to a decision, or what's the way forward from your side as opposition parties?
The preoccupation of the African National Congress is to assist service delivery to continue. We're not preoccupied about mayors and people are going to take over and so on. That is not our worry. Our worry is that people are not getting services right now. There's no electricity in Winterveld. There's problems of electricity in Soshanguve, in Atteridgeville.
Well, to continue services, you need an election of a mayor. So my question is, are you interested in the seat as the ANC in Tshwane?
No, but the DA is the one that put the mayor. When they put the mayor, we will see whether the mayor will be successful or not, will be elected. Our preoccupation as the ANC, because we have been blamed by service delivery, is to focus on that service delivery and to ensure that we push it, that it happens with any party. If the DA wants to put a mayor, they must put it. The ANC is not going to be bogged down to putting the candidates of mayor. We are focused on saying we want to get Tshwane organized. We are now speaking to National Treasury because we are worried about the budget, that the budget must be readjusted and so on.
Is there a mayor you're willing to support? The ANC has named a candidate. We know the EFF is interested in the seat. So if you're saying as ANC you're not interested in the seat, will you back any of these parties?
The ANC will make a determination when the person is announced. Right now we have Williams. We don't want to support Williams. So if there's any other candidates that will come, obviously the ANC will have to make a calculation. But for now, our preoccupation is to make sure that the city continues to get services and our people on the ground, because that's the ANC has 68 wards out of 107. So we are mostly affected when the city doesn't work than all the other political.
And then just finally, where to from now? Because this has been going on and we've been covering this for several months now. So what's going to happen right now?
Yeah, I mean, the people who are being intransigent is the DA. They know that they're person. They are the ones who asked lawyers to take the matter to court. The DA is doing the court thing. It's not the ANC. The ANC is not in court. It's the DA and their speaker and the MEC. So it's them who are causing problems in Tshwane.
All right, thank you very much. That's the ANC chairperson in Tshwane, Kgosi Mayepa. And right now, I don't know if I have a bit of time, but it would be best if we can speak to the DA. And I've got a Gauteng leader from the DA, that is John Moody, also just to balance this situation that we are seeing here, this political impasse, and as he's trying to jump behind me, it's a very awkward space here. So if you can just give us the chance. Mr. John Moody, thank you very much for your time. Another Tshwane meeting has collapsed, and we're expecting an election of a new mayor here. I know as the DA you've announced a candidate in Mr. Randall Williams, but the opposition parties who have majority in council say the speaker needs to recuse herself because there's court matters that are pending on her name.
Well, you know, this is the unfortunate circumstance of politics. And what's happening in this in the chamber is in accordance with the democratic process. If the opposition parties believe that the speaker should be removed, they must just follow the letter of the law and get her removed. This is nothing else but obfuscating, allowing another council meeting to lapse, and then we don't have a mayor, remember? So within 7 days we need to have a mayor elected. And can I just conclude with this? There's an adjustment budget that needs to be passed by tomorrow. And if it doesn't pass, you have a problem in terms of how do you render services moving on. And it will lead to the adverse findings from the Auditor General.
Why can't the speaker, the DA speaker, recuse herself? Because the court matters pending. I see the resignation call, but the other party, I think ANC, called for her to recuse herself pending these court matters with the MEC of Kokta Leboheng Maile. So why can she not recuse herself? That's not a resignation. It's just to allow the process of electing a new mayor happen under somebody else that does not have court matters. Why can she not do that?
She's not the person that is being charged in the court matters. And whilst it is pending, she's still the speaker. And she's acting in terms of...
we do have an acting speaker who can come.
No. Let's get back to this basic thing. The thing is that she's a speaker, legitimately so. So we cannot be dictated to outside of the ambit of the law. If she believes, and it's correct, it is her responsibility. She's the elected speaker. She stays in that office and in that position until such time that she is removed.
All right. Now let's talk about where to right now, because the opposition parties, I've just spoke to the ANC, they are hell-bent saying that she should not sit on that seat. But as you mentioned, we are without a mayor in Tshwane. So what must happen?
Okay, within 7 days we need to reconvene a meeting. Okay, so that to elect a mayor.
How are you going to do that with the state of the Tshwane Council being like this?
You're asking me how long is a piece of string, and I'm not a fortune teller. At the end of the day, we continue to negotiate with these two parties because it's in the interest of the people of Tshwane. And if it collapses again, then we can then ask for another extension. But then ultimately, it then opens the gates for that between the city and the administration, which has always been the objective.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. John Moody. I appreciate your time. That's the DA Gauteng leader, John Moody, just giving his inputs on what has transpired here today. And essentially, the Tshwane Council has collapsed after EFF and ANC staged a walkout. So the city of Tshwane remains without a mayor. It remains without a government to carry out service delivery. And as Mr. John Moody says, that they will try to negotiate with the parties behind the scenes to ensure that there is an effective meeting that elects a mayor. They have about 7 days to do so. So it remains to be seen if these three parties will find each other. But as it stands, a council has collapsed and Tshwane remains without a mayor. With that, it's back to you in studio.
All right, Sipho, I want to keep you for just a little bit longer. I want to just connect the dots and help our viewers to understand what is at stake here and what's going on in terms of what the rules say. Sipho, so we know that the DA has announced the former Economic Development MMC Randall Williams as its mayoral candidate. Sipho, can you hear me? Are you still with me? Sipho Stuurman, you still with me? All right, it seems that we lost communication with Sipho Stuurman there, but trying to get the way forward. We'll try to get him back in a short while, just to get some more clarity with regards to what does the rule say when this happens, this grey area, so to speak, when you don't have a mayor. We know that Abel Tau was acting for a bit there, and they announced that Randall Williams is the DA's mayoral candidate. The ANC doesn't want to support Williams, and wants the speaker to recuse herself due to this pending court action. So we'll get the very latest from Sipho Stuurman in a short while. Desiree Chake.
Well, public interest